Concerning me, peeps, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal and Paula Villarreal. Now we're talking boxing or boxeo. And here's the deal. We had basically Andre Berto, undefeated, the welterweight champion, one of them, right, facing against Ortiz. Now Ortiz moved up a weight class. He went from junior welter up to welterweight. And people weren't sure because of what happened with Maidana, this and that, whatever. And now this thing was an explosive shootout. One of the best fights that I've seen easily all year. This thing is tremendous. I'm not going to call it the fight of the year because we've got a lot of hot fights coming up, not the least of which is Pacquiao versus Mosley, and we've been talking about that, and you know that. Now, this fight was incredible. I mean, we had knockdown after knockdown. We had all kinds of different stuff. It was just, they were throwing bombs. There wasn't, a lot of it was a war, basically, okay? We didn't see a lot of slick boxing and that, whatever. We saw some good moves here and there, but it was an absolute war. Most of it happened with, in close quarters. And, I mean, Paul, we saw, hooks, counter hooks. We saw leads. We saw, some body work, a lot of vicious uppercuts from Ortiz. And Ortiz really showed a grittiness, a toughness against Andre Berto. And we saw 50 Cent there. And we saw Mayweather, and it seemed like maybe there was some kind of, who was Mayweather scouting? Was he scouting Berto? Was he scouting Ortiz? I mean, what was going down here?
What happened tonight was you had a guy in Victor Ortiz who had everything to prove against a guy who might have been a little bit more complacent in Andre Berto. And the hungrier guy won. And it was an excellent fight. As you said, definitely a fight of the year candidate. You had, I think, at least 4 knockdowns and another one that wasn't counted. It was just a war. And Victor Ortiz, first fight moving up from junior welterweight right to welterweight, wins a title in his first bout, and we totally congratulate him. It was an excellent fight. Props to both guys.
Huge.
And that's great. You got to give the guy credit. He was a big underdog coming to this fight, and he got it done.
This is all our personal opinion. We're not alleging any facts, casting any aspersions, all for entertainment parody purposes only. You know that. Check the disclaimers. Here's the deal. I mean, what Paul said right there, I'm digging. Because, I mean, we're talking about a guy in Victor Ortiz. He got stung a couple times. And I loved his interview afterwards with Larry Merchant. I mean, he seems like a very intelligent guy. Answered questions, I believe, honestly. Was very well spoken. I liked what he was saying. He said, yeah, there's a couple times, I messed up. I got caught. I knew the guy had power, but I wasn't afraid of his power. You could see the will he had. He was determined to get this done, and nothing was going to stop him. And he was just walking through shots, and there were times that, he got hit with some big shots, and he just kept coming, and he kept doing the work, and it was just fantastic. But I love it. I mean, I think that this really sets up Ortiz in a great way. With Berto, now we've got question marks. I don't know where he goes from here. I mean, obviously there's a lot of other fights. It's a deep division. But I think that we've seen some holes that were very much exposed with Berto. I think there's a chin question. There might be a conditioning question. There might be a will and determination question. The guy clearly has athletic ability. He's got power. But he has to sort of, what we need to find out is, is Andre Berto another Jermaine Taylor? Or is he a guy that can kind of take this loss and come back and reinvent himself better than ever and become that top flight champion again? That's what we need to find out here with Andre Berto. But Victor Ortiz now is the man of the moment. And this sets up a number of incredibly intriguing fights. Before, Ortiz was sort of touted as maybe the next Oscar De La Hoya, and he might have started to live up to some of that tonight. And I want to talk in the next video about some of the possible matchup, including, Ortiz versus Pacquiao. You tell me what you thought out there, fight fans. This was an incredibly entertaining fight. If you haven't seen it yet, this is something that you need to see, in my personal opinion. Unbelievable, great stuff. Big ups to HBO for having this fight. For Conservative Media, I am John, that is Paul. We're Conservative Media. Comments below, subscribe above. We'll see you next time.